Hello, friends and families, aliens and androids alike, and welcome to Euphoria. Thank you so much for joining us for this solo stream of One Breath Left as part of Euphoria's Summer of Sci-Fi. My name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a white woman with soft blondie hair, as that's what I like to think it is, with blue eyes. I'm wearing a black t-shirt with, of course, my usual sort of flowery overalls from Lucy and Yak, not sponsored. I am an improviser, an actual play performer, and podcaster amongst many roles and many hats, but today I have the incredible honour and privilege of being your player for this stream. So let me tell you a bit about One Breath Left and what the stream is about at the top of the session. So, One Breath Left is by Stoat Press. Try to say that 3 times fast. And it is a solo journaling sci-fi horror game about an explorer who's tasked with determining what happened aboard a now abandoned spaceship. I'll document what I find whilst trying to avoid a perilous end. You know, the classic Fiona special here. One Breath Left is played across phases. Setup, so we choose who the explorer is going to be, what contract they have undertaken, and which wreck we're going to be visiting. And then exploration, which is going to be the main phase of the game, the main body of the game. We're going to use a deck of cards to build a unique derelict wreck to explore and find out information about. And then finally, the epilogue, concluding the game, find out if we survive, fingers crossed, and if so, what their life is like after their time aboard the wreck. To be able to explore it, we're going to spend a limited resource, which is called oxygen. One we all have. Every breath will count, and we need to think ahead as we explore. Delve too far, investigate too thoroughly, and you might not make it back to the airlock. However, spend too little time aboard the wreck, and you risk falling or failing the demands of your contract. If you find this game interesting, please go and check out and grab your own copy on the Stoat Press itch.io page for a digital version. Unfortunately, at time of stream, the physical version is out of print, but apparently there will be a crowdfunding campaign at some point in the future. But in the meantime, you can go check out their other games and more information on Stoat Press's website, which is stoutstoat.co.uk. So please go and check them out. Now, with all that in mind, one must be careful and check in with themselves when playing solo TTRPG games. I've got some safety tools in effect, and I've done my lines of veils. I've checked in with my wonderful producer Darcy to make sure they're safe. But as always, do take care of yourself and step away should you need to. I want to give you, the viewers, full permission to keep yourselves safe and take a break from watching this story should you need it. As I always say, you are more important than the rolls on the table or my silly solo story about exploring a derelict spaceship, which is totally safe and not dangerous. Finally, this stream is part of Euphoria's Summer of Sci-Fi. Euphoria aims to raise the bar for diversity, safety, and excellence in the EU and UK TTRPG scene, headed by the wonderful Darcy and Ida. They've put together an incredible program scheduled for this launch event, which has got an array of interviews, panels, actual players, all of which focus on, you guessed it, science fiction. Be sure to follow Euphoria on all the socials listed below to find out what else is coming next and maybe spread the word and maybe consider joining the Patreon. That'll be really cool of you. I think that is it in terms of the sort of initial top of the session sort of introduction. So let's run that cool intro sequence and let's play One Last Breath. Boom, I'm on. Hooray, I'm back. So let's do a couple of other things before we get started with the game. So I'm going to explain the sort of general setup of the stream. Obviously, currently we're on my face, but we will go over to this very cool VTT. So you can play it for free, one breath left for free, using a special VTT, which we'll look at in a moment. The other thing I'm going to say as well, as always with these sort of streams, I like looking at the PDFs at the same time so people can have an idea of what I'm talking about. I'm not just making things off the top of my head. So we're going to look through the free books for this. We've got the Operations Player's Manual, the Explorer's Manual, and there was another manual whose name I've completely forgotten. I'm going to check it up. The Navigation Guide, the Explorer's Handbook, and the Navigation Guide as well. And each of those three will help create us with our game as well. And also with this VTT, we'll have cards. I think I mentioned that in the intro, specialized cards for this as well. So again, not making this up at the top of my head. And just set expectations as well. So my words ain't good, my friends. I will pronounce things wrong. I will forget that we've named things, etc. So I'm just going to say that in advance. I'm going to say words not good. So don't worry about it. It's all fine. This is a live stream as well, which is very exciting. So if you have suggestions for stuff that's happening, go pop them in the chat, and I'm sure I will find them eventually. Whether my producer goes, "Hey, someone thought of a cool idea 2 rooms back," or I go, "Oh, that does sound like a good idea." But yeah, this is an interactive stream, so please do let us know where you think we'll go, and chances of survival. You know how that is. The final thing, penultimate thing, is that we do have a giveaway for this amazing stream. We've got some digital copies of One Breath Left, provided to us by the wonderful Brian at Stoat Press. In order, the information should come up in this chat, but just in case, if you put exclamation point giveaway, they'll have all the information about it. And to enter, if you do exclamation point last gasp, you'll see why that's important later. That will give you an entry into it. So please go and do that. We want to give out wonderful giveaways of this amazing game as we're playing. The final thing to say is content warnings. Hooray! We're going to keep each other safe, and it's all going to be great. So this is a sci-fi horror game, and so naturally, because we're exploring some abandoned ship in space, there's going to be slight horror themes. I presume there's going to be, maybe mentions or veils of death or something, some sort of big catastrophe happened, etc. I don't know about what they're going to be just yet, but of course, solo games, etc. As they come up, I'll try and mention them, and then when we come back after our break, I'll try and remember them throughout as well. Just again to try and keep folks safe. But you know what it's like. You're exploring those derelict, abandoned ships in space. Bound to be some spooky stuff up there. Right, so first things first, let's move over to the main screen if we've not already, and I'm going to show you quickly the VTT. Like, how beautiful is this? It's so pretty. I really love it, and what I love about it is that it's unlike any other VTT I've ever played in. They've got some, if I zoom in a little bit, you've got these instructions here at the bottom, which again I will be looking at totally because I am inept at anything. You see the cards and stuff there. I've got some examples there, and I just want to zoom in. This is something I really love, is that the cards themselves, they're beautifully designed and inscribed. They're not pixelated either, so we can instantly see as well, and also we can get a real good overview of what the ship we're going to create looks like as well. We have this discard pad on here. We've got some corridors. I'm not a big fan of corridors. Bad things happen in corridors, but I can zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what they look like. They're great. What great images as well. And I can only imagine what the physical versions would look like as well. So, let's go back a little bit. So, the other thing to note is that this game does come with a character sheet. Unfortunately, that character sheet for me wasn't doing it just because it wasn't form fillable. So, she says, not prepared at all. I have created a Notion page because we love Notion. Hooray! So this is going to be our tracking sheet. We're going to have all that information. We've got the character stuff up here. We'll go into that in a second. We have clues. We've got A, B, C, and D. I don't know what those are. I assume there may be item stuff. But here's the thing that we were going to look at mostly. It's an oxygen tracker. We've got from 1 to 100, and we'll have to be ticking it off bit by bit depending on the actions we're doing. We also have a number of rooms, and each of these rooms, obviously, they're numbered here, and that helps us look for them later in the what was it called? I don't remember. A navigation guide. So we go there, and each of them has their own individual tracker, which I've put here. Again, very straightforward, but very simplistic, perhaps. The numbers will indicate something, and then a milestone, which is a sort of white dot that I've used here. So again, it's just to help me just be able to edit something quickly rather than fiddling around on an image and just drawing on it. So we've got quite an interesting number ones there. Life support, number 12 there. That'll be quite interesting. And you can see some of these rooms have more on the bar than others. So we'll see what that is all about. But that's where our tracking sheet is. So we'll just pop that down there for now. So let's just go straight into, let me just get rid of that. I don't need that on here. Let's just go straight into the books. So the other thing I want to say, I really love how these books are designed. They are almost like what's the word? like little handbooks, but they're not the usual sort of A4 size, so they're little bits and pieces. Oh, that's me looking at stuff earlier. Secrets. So I really like the different colors for them. So this is the operation manual. This is where all the rules are going to be. The explorer's handbook, where we're going to create our character, and then the navigation guide, which is going to give us a bit more details about the rooms that we pull. So there we go. So let's get started straight away. There we go. And I love it's just so clean, so nice. So let's get started. So you are an explorer tasked with determining what happened aboard a now abandoned spaceship. As you explore, you'll document what you find whilst trying to avoid a perilous fate. We've talked about the 3 phases before: the setup, which is what we're going to be doing now, then the exploration of the game, which is the exploring the derelict wreck itself, and then concluding the game with the epilogue. We're using 3 different booklets for this. We've got the words. It's already happening. The operation manual, which contains all the rules, which we're reading it right now. The Explorer's Handbook, which contains all the options used to set up a game of One Breath Left. So the ID cards, that's your sort of main character, sort of archetype, the contracts and manifests. And the navigation guide contains all the information about each room as you explore the wreck. You will reference this regularly through play. You've been contracted to uncover a specific information about a wreck. This information must be tracked in a record log. It could be the only thing that survives you. This log can take any form, such as a written journal, audio recordings, or a blog, or a live stream. So I might make a few notes as we're going along, just to remind me of what has happened. But most of the thoughts I will be voicing out loud, which may be good, may be bad. Oh no! To fill in this log, you will answer open-ended prompts in any way you like. It is absolutely fine to continue playing before answering a prompt. Just make a note to address it later. Then we have trackers and milestones. Trackers are used to measure resources and your progress during various tasks, such as investigating a room. You will maintain multiple trackers throughout a single game, adding and removing ticks as you progress, rise, and falls. Make these ticks with a non-permanent means, such as a digital pen stroke. And here we've got an example here on the left here. So you see the bridge has got these sort of things taken through. So we've progressed 3 times through the bridge, I think, and then 2 times through the exercise room. Oh my God, there's alt text. That's very exciting. Sorry, I have a big thing about alt text, as it actually describes them. So we've got diagram 1, several room tracks, each labeled with a room and marked with various numbers of ticks. Amazing. And then the lounge there has like 5 ticks through it. Milestones mark where events occur. When a milestone is ticked for the first time, activate the corresponding event. If it gets ticked because you took another action, such as moving around the wreck, complete that action before resolving the milestone. And there's the sheet of it is at the back of the Explorer's book. So that character sheet I was talking about earlier. Actions and oxygen. Your explorer has a limited supply of oxygen, and this is measured with the oxygen tracker. Every action you take in this game, such as opening doors and investigating rooms, costs a specific amount of oxygen. God, opening a door costs oxygen. What is this? I feel like we're being taxed on this. For every 1 oxygen you spend, add 1 tick to your oxygen tracker. Moving through a doorway costs 1 oxygen, so you would move your token and then add 1 tick to the oxygen tracker. So they're fair enough. Oh dear, oh dear. And it says here, add milestones to this tracker when prompted. Oh, that doesn't sound good. This particular tracker says peril there. I'm not excited about that. Last gasp. When you run out of air, you start your last gasp. The only oxygen left to breathe is what you have left in your spacesuit, and there's no way of knowing how long that will last. After you would spend any oxygen, add ticks to your tracker and then draw the top card of the navigation deck and discard it. If you cannot discard, you've used up your last gasp and have succumbed in in bold there. Oh no. So if we explore loads, but then we're trying to get back, we might not have enough cards to go back, so we've used up quite a bit of the navigation deck. Oh, okay. And then immediately proceed to phase 3 epilogue. Fine. As always, when you read out rules, you have to have a cup of tea, because you might not know when you're gonna get one. So this game is played with a special deck of cards. Some represent rooms on the wreck, others are tools you can use. Ooh, okay. If a card is ever discarded, remove it from the game for your current playthrough. You cannot use it again until you reset the game with a new explorer. Okie dokie, so discarding means actual discarding. Deck composition. Each wreck has a different combination of rooms numbered from 1 to 30. These are represented by the illustrated cards of the navigation deck. So here we go on this side here. To set up your deck, find cards 1 to 20, which has already been done on the VTT, and then remove or add specific cards as instructed during the setup. So one thing I have decided with this, and we'll get to it properly, is that I've chosen already the contract and the rec because it said there was no changes to the actual setup. So the basic sort of vanilla setup, we're going to be doing that as well. So it makes obviously character creation a lot easier, but also it means that you don't have to see me fiddle around with a VTT trying to find cards to remove. Then we're going to shuffle the deck and then place it face down. Whoop. Overlapping rules. So general rules, such as how to move, will overlap with specific rules, such as a tool's passive ability. Most specific rule will always take precedence. Oh, the most specific rule. Interesting. And then if you stop enjoying yourself during play, remember that you're the one arbitrating these rules. We, the game designers, give you permission to change it if it would mean your experience would be improved. Well, that's really lovely to see. Thank you. So, use these options in the Explorer's Handbook and they provide more details in the summary below. So, this is what I was saying before. So we've got ID cards. So this tells us who your explorer is, gives you a special skill to use during play, and it sets your lung capacity milestone, which determines how much oxygen you can breathe before reaching your last gasp. Determine what desires you are trying to satisfy. Well, let's go and do that now, shall we? Let's go sort that now. So here's the Explorer's Handbook. I gotta love the sort of Fallout sort of hey wave there. So, choose one of the ID cards listed in the section for your explorer and answer the background questions and make a note of their stats and figure out what they might need to make their future brighter. Oh, lung capacity. So, an explorer's lung capacity represents how fast they are able to breathe through their limited air supply. Add this last gasp milestone to your oxygen tracker. Once it's reached, your explorer will begin to suffocate. So, yeah, again, the big content warning for this game is that the suffocation might be quite a big theme. I should have realized that earlier. Skill. Explorers come from all walks of life. Each ID card comes with a special skill which will help your explorer survive aboard the wreck. And then finally, desires. Explorers are united in their desperation. They all need cash, which is C in this case, and favours. This is the UK spelling of favours. Nice to see. Which is F to fulfill their desires. Even if you survive your visit to the wreck, you may have to pick between which desires to fulfill and which to abandon. And here we go. So I think we've got 5, I want to say, if we go back up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we've got 5 different kinds of ID cards. So we've got the analyst there, which has a high capacity there. We've got 70. Got style, dispassionate, careful, precise, bureaucratic, a cog in the machine. And they've got a skill called structural analysis. Opening doors and corridors does not cost oxygen. Oh, well, I mean, I'm already a big fan of this guy. What a great image as well. The applicant, they've got a mid-range for their lung capacity. Their style is optimistic, hopeful, looking for a better life, duty now for the future. The skill is accustomed to tedium. Once per investigation, you may restart a completed room's investigation track, refreshing all of its milestones. Ooh, that's like keen beans sort of thing there. The nomad. High lung capacity again, 70%. We've got style is 50% whimsical, 50% serious, gregarious, great word, mercurial, best word, and shrewd. Let it all blow over. Your skill here is the winds of trade. You may spend cash as favors and vice versa. Okay. The patient. Oh gosh, a low one there. Ooh, 50. And we have style is suffering, willing. There is no point in turning back. Their skill is desperation. So each time you complete a track, you may discard the top card of the navigation deck to gain 1 clue. And then finally, the radical. Oh, look at that cyborg eye there. They've got a mid of 60. Their style is conspiratorial, curious, driven by answers over profit. Skill is word of mouth. If you successfully escape a wreck, you can convert sets of free clues into 1 favor. Interesting. So there we go. There's things. I'm wondering, just thinking off the top, maybe we should go for the analyst because of this one skill of opening doors and corridors does not cost oxygen. I'm a big fan of not spending oxygen willy-nilly, so to speak. So let's take that one, shall we? Let's go to, if I bring this up. So what did it say? What did it say? So we're going to go for the analyst. That's what it was called. Analyst. And let's bring them in. So what's there? I'll just copy and paste their style, because this is why I like playing these kind of games, is because I can just copy and paste and format as I go. Dispassionate, careful, precise, and bureaucratic. Tag yourself. I'm none of those things. I'm the cog. Let's see. And then skill is structural analysis. The oxygen thing. Let's bring that back. Opening. So, and then lung capacity is high, and it was 70. And we can mark that on the tracker as well. Let's pop that here. So last gasp, I think that's what it was. That's what we were going to call it. So we'll do that. And then what were the other things? Desire. Oh, right. So we can actually go into the other things now as well. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Oh, interesting. So we have some desires. So again, the C is cash. So 1 cash, we would like nicer furniture. 3 cash, a new uniform of branded clothing. My Lucian yaks. Oh, this has already worked out really well. Another 3 cash as a private dinner at a nice restaurant. 5 cash is a new pet, in brackets small. 7 cash is a new pet, brackets large. And then 12 is a week-long holiday trip. Nice. I mean, those are always cool desires. And then favors, we have 1 favor is promotion to a higher clearance. 3 favors is entrance to an exclusive club. Not the nerd club. 2 favors and 3 cash is a line of credit at a corp bank. And then 3 favors is having a past demerit expunged from your records. Ooh, interesting, interesting. So obviously we don't have any money just now. Classic. And we don't have any favors just now, but presumably once we've done the trip, if we survive, we can then convert it and we can find out what the payout is like there. So, and here's the interview log. So here we're going to create our character. So I'm just going to, again, copy and paste it. I'm going to just pop it into the interview log here. Alrighty. So because I'm a typical analyst, I work for one of the galaxy's mega corporations. Oh no, it's going to ask me for names, isn't it? God darn it. Okay, let's do some formatting quickly before I lose the will to live to try and come up with some cool names. Amenities. Oh, please do. Yes, sorry. My wonderful producer, Darcy, has kindly offered Fantasy Name Generator, which as I'm someone that needs all the help I need, absolutely. So there we go. So let's talk about our 3 questions we've got. I like that 3rd question already. So we work for one of the galaxy's mega corporations. The rent on your corp assigned flat is going up again. Oh God, it's too realistic. and you need to pick up your dry cleaning. Oh no, less realistic, but sure. Okay, so we work for one of the galaxy's mega corporations. Which corp do you work for, and in what department? So yeah, I'll take any suggestions for either in chat or if my wonderful my wonderful producer Darcy has any suggestions for a mega corporation in space, I'll happily take it. I'll also take another sip of my tea. I think if I think about departments, it's going to be pretty low. I'm guessing it's going to be. It's what I would think of if, say, for example, there was that sort of big corporation which has a mouse for its head. I think I'd be low down as cast member, but even then, maybe like a suggestion, like a assistant to cast member. I do like cast member as a job role. I don't know what that means in this context, but I like that. Let's see what else. What else? I'll nip over. Oh, hello, Phoenix Femme. How are you doing, my friend? It might be my last cup. Absolutely, absolutely. Gosh, oh, so real. Let's see what else we've got in terms of questions. What is your responsibilities do you have, and who do you report to? Oh well, I guess who do I report to? That could be an easy one. I report to. I didn't mention her in the last stream, so I bet I should do it now. I report to some individual, a shady individual. Ooh, spell individual right. Individual called, just by the sort of moniker, Fancy Alice. We'll just do that. Deep Fiona lore there. I guess we're always on team Teams-like calls. They're always like blurred or pixelated, but I could tell that they're lying about. They're maybe like turning over. There's a bit of a hiss every so often, so that's good. What responsibilities do you have? Well, I think I've been sent to do this mission. I probably do the jobs that no one else wants to do, but more because I probably do these because I I want to get out of the office. I want to do a field trip. That's the thing. Like otherwise I'm just stuck at a desk for however cycles it is. Uh, hate being a oh, desk jockey. Always up for a field trip. Maybe then cast member is not the way I'm thinking it as in terms of like, when it's like rubbish technician instead of bin men, is that sort of thing. So maybe it's something like that where it's like you are a core member of this team. So maybe team member as well. So, but it's one of those things where nobody knows what the actual title means. Let me think. What else could we do? Trying to think of names. Any suggestion for names? Ooh, Zeus Network for your corporation. I like Zeus Network for sure. Let's do Zeus Network. It's definitely a grandioso name, right? It's very much like, hey, what about if we were like, thinking of deities, and someone goes Zeus, and you're like, I love it, I'll take it. So absolutely. Shady individual, otherwise known as stream gods. Yep. That's exactly it. Amazing. Okay, so I think that's enough for that question there. So the rent on your corpo assigned flat is going up again. What amenities does the flat come with? Well, I think there has to be a hot tea tap with separate milk dispenser. But it's one of those things like, you could be like, it's like a when you're in a bar or a pub and you pull the thing, but it's scorching hot. You're like, yeah, hot Earl Grey. You're like, God. So it's like, this is a cool idea, but not well in practice. So we definitely have that amenity, that ridiculous amenity. I think we have one of those beds that it folds down. I guess because it's a corporate assigned flat, right? And if the way we're thinking about Zeus Network, there's sort of thing where your room is definitely much smaller. It's not like 5 foot by 5 foot, but definitely like 10 foot by 10 foot. Everything's in it, so everything's pulled down. I like the idea that the bed you pull it down, but it's a trap. It's like any of those toy traps which have like a hinge, and you press something down at any moment, you just go you get caught into it. So trapped bed. I mean, that's not an amenity, that's just a problem with the flat. What other amenities? I bet we get like 24-hour or 24/7 like gym access that nobody uses because you can't find it. There's like a sauna, but it's out of I was gonna say out of stock, it's out of order. And parking, but nobody has a car. So it's one of those things where it does the job, but it doesn't fit anyone. It's like, these are great ideas for nobody. So find can't find the level, or maybe I don't have my card access isn't high enough. Isn't high. Maybe it's one of those awful things where you have to take out a certain kind of insurance, and if you're healthy enough, the insurance goes down. But because it's in that horrible sort of trap cycle where you don't do enough steps per day, so therefore your insurance doesn't go down, and therefore you lose certain benefits. And it's just like, oh, for goodness sake. What is the neighborhood like? I think it's bland. That very typical space. It is just a block, like a concrete block. A block of concrete. I don't think anyone's allowed outside. Oh, and nobody walks outside. No one outside. it's all cars. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, Fiona, you said you didn't have a car, and that's true. Because I reckon, I don't know if we have transporters. That sounds way too sci-fi. I think there's like a bus of some sort. So I got to get the space bus. Look, it's real life now, but in the future. That's what I'm seeing. What else was there? Do you live alone or with others? We'll make it easy. I live alone because it's just for ease. Do you have a pet allowance? I don't. Ooh. Oh no, I don't want to go away, AI. Don't want you. I don't yet. Because I know one of the cash things is to get pets. And I've always wanted a pet. I want a large pet. I want a large pet. All right, you need to pick up your dry cleaning. What clothes do you have to pick up? What makes up your uniform? I think the dry cleaning, it is the bog standard Zeus network sort of like corporation sort of suit. I mean, I'll go for boiler suit. Why not? That works for me. And I think everyone's dressed the same because they don't want to have people thinking about anything else because we're all part of a team here, so it's probably grey boiler suit. I think mine is probably a bit more worn. I wonder if just because I've been out, I go away from the desk due to field trips. Sounds good. And then what makes up your uniform? So it's the same. That's exactly that. I can't spell corporation to save my life. I think what makes it up though is that it has a massive badge on it, very much like a happy to help sign. Happy to help, like badge with my name, which I've scrubbed out. Name scrubbed. Scrubbed out. And probably have some sort of moniker or something like that, or username that I use for contracts. Happy to help badge, name scrubbed out. I wonder if there's a protocol for Zeus networks to anytime you are interacting with a customer, you have to press said badge, and we have the theme tune come out. As part of an introductory customer is like, hi, I'm blah, 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 I'm happy to help. And then it's like Looney Tunes-esque theme tune. And and the company theme tune plays. You know what? It plays, and then every so often there'll be like a motto from the CEO, which will be like a motivational motto. Will be a motivational motto, on the same lines of live, laugh, love, and let's not rot. Haha, that sort of thing. Let's not rot. I saw that on an Instagram reel. It was a very good Instagram reel, I will say. I like it. Let's not rot as a sort of like motivational, kind of motivational, but not quite motivational thing. All right. So I think that's our sort of question thing done. Did we have a desire? I don't think it didn't come up, did it? Let me have a look. See. Analyst desires. I've got those ones. So okay. So there's not like something I put in. There's just things on my docket essentially. So that's fine. Don't have any cash or credits currently. Oh, not cash or credits. Cash or favors. Excellent. All right. So I think that's it. So we're going to play the analyst. They are dispassionate, careful, precise, bureaucratic. I think a cog in the machine. Like they just don't. It all washes over them. It's day in day out. It's the same thing. Our skill is structural analyst. Put that in bold. Opening doors in corridors. Does not cost oxygen. I'm going to put an exclamation mark there. We have a high lung capacity of 70, which I've put down here as our last gasp. We then have the interview logs. We worked for one of the galaxy's mega corporations. Which corp do we work for, and what department we're in? We are the news network, Zeus Network, and we are part of the department of cast member or team members. I don't know if there's any other departments. We're just the lowest of the low, not quite interns, just general works buddies, dogs buddies, perhaps. What responsibilities do you have? I think me specifically, I do jobs that nobody else wants to do. I hate being a desk jockey. I hate doing admin. So I hate admin. And I bet it's a lot of data entry forms and dealing with customers. Mostly deals with data entry and customer service. I don't even know what Zeus Network, like what their main product is. I think it's one of those conglomerates where it's like, we also do space travel, we also do trains, we also make food, we also have holidays. It's that sort of thing. And I think I'm just in a generic customer service role. And I'm always like, yep, I'm off for a field trip, because nobody else wants to do it because it's too dangerous. Who do I report to? I report to a shady individual called Fancianis, who's somebody I don't see on the Teams call that often. They're very pixelated, and I don't know anything about them. They are neutral towards me. Yes. If anything, I like the idea that when it comes for like reviews and doing like an annual review or something like that, maybe I, as the employee, have to take out the line manager to dinner, but for whatever reason, Fancy Alice does not want to go out for dinner, so I have to do a remote food, and I have to pay for the food. Or I always buy dinner for reviews. It's because I know she likes dinner. The rent on your corp side of the flat is going up again. What amenities does the flat come with? So ultimately, stuff. Everything's put away. I have this trapped bed thing. I have a hot tea tap with separate milk dispenser. Terrible idea. We've got all these other things like 24-hour gym access, a sauna, parking lot. But I've fallen through the cracks, and I can't be bothered messaging building management to work out what's going on. What's the neighborhood like? It's bland blocks of concrete, no one outside, space cars. It's just the same. Beige, 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 Do you live alone or with others? Alone. I've chosen this life. I wouldn't want anyone else to experience this with me or be impacted by it. And do you have a pet allowance? No, not yet, but I want a large pet. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe this whole time, like in my sort of little grey fishbowl, day in, day out, I'm just like going, like I see an advert for like a good boy, a good dog. And I'm there going, I want that dog. And so then maybe that's what my motivation is. You need to pick up your dry cleaning. What clothes do you have? So we've got this corporate suit / boiler suit that Zeus Network has provided us. Mine's a bit more worn due to the field trips we've been out on. And then what makes up your uniform? So we have this special Happy to Help badge, which probably has a logo, actually. I was going to say, my name is scratched out on it, but the logo of Zeus Network. And you press it, and the company theme plays, and then a motto from our CEO: "Let's not rot." Amazing. Okay, so that is our character done, I think. Let's go back to the operation manual. And then we've got contracts. So have specific tasks for you to try and complete during your exploration. Provide payouts of cash and favors used to satisfy your desires, and have failure prompts using the epilogue if you bungled the job. Right, well, let's go to that then. So we'll zoom ahead. So I've picked this already, as I said, to make it a little bit easier in terms of setup. So, contracts table. So, with your desires just out of reach, magnanimous corporation benefactors provide a solution in the form of contracts. Choose a contract and attempt to fulfill it whilst you play. So, the terms and conditions. So the contract will ask you to fulfill one or more tasks, such as recording damages to the wreck that has suffered or gathering information about its crew. Some contracts come with different ways that can be fulfilled, or scenarios that will tempt you to purposefully fail them. Ooh. As you explore and investigate, you will find clues representing pieces of information that tell the part of the correct story and progress made on completing your contract. Each contract explains what the clues mean in the context of their task. Payouts. So depending on the contract, different tasks will offer varying payouts of cash and favors, which you can use to fulfill your desires if you safely escape the wreck. And finally, failure prompts. If you survive your visit to the wreck but fail to complete your contract, you will have to answer a failure prompt in your epilogue. Now, as I said, I've already picked this first one, the asset acquisition in brackets unlicensed. So I've picked this one because again it says here set up no changes are required for this contract, so I thought we'd just do that. So you've received a tip via direct message on an unregulated Galaxy Net forum. You know, the one I was signed up to. There's a ship full of goods, and the company that owns it is a week out from sending a salvage squad. Get in there, grab what you can carry, and get out whilst you're still breathing. Okay. Finding loot. So each time you complete a room's track, we gain 1 loot. Some rooms may contain additional loot if you meet their conditions. Hauling loot. Moving costs 1 extra oxygen per loot carried. Oh no! Gosh darn it. So if we're moving through a doorway with 2 loot, it will cost 3 oxygen. Oh gosh, why why am I breathing so heavily? You may drop loot at any time. Only actively carried loot or loot in the room you exit the wreck from is secured for payment. Okay. For each loot secured, gain either free cash or 1 favor. You fail if you do not secure at least 2 loot. Thank God we went for the analyst, right? And then we've got these failure prompts. What's the worst job you're forced to take on to make ends meet? You really counted on getting something out of this hole. What do you do? What do you have to give up to cover your bills? Oh gosh. You're not the only mouth you need to feed. Who suffers because you couldn't come up with the cash? Interesting. So those are the failure prompts that we have to do if we fail the contract, but survive the wreck. Okay, great. And then we have, and so yes, as I was going to say, sorry, I had it here. Yeah, I've already popped that all here. So we have it to hand on our sheet. So no problems there. All right, and then, go to this one. Rec manifests. So it tells you about the ship you're exploring, provide peril events, I don't like that it's called peril events, which create evolving dangers aboard the wreck. Each event has a peril milestone which should be added to your oxygen tracker. So for this, again, same thing. I went for the one that had no changes to setup. I'll just quickly flick through the other kinds of setup we have. We have footage recovery as a contract. So you have to gain incriminating footage, which would be exciting. Insurance detail was another one. Post-mortem psycho-factual analyst. Oh. Property reclamation. And then here are the manifests. So space is a graveyard for ships of humankind. Choose from these manifests to determine which one your explorer has been contracted to dig through. Peril events. Things always go wrong on wrecks. Each manifest comes with its own set of peril events with milestones to be placed on your oxygen tracker. Whenever you reach a milestone, immediately resolve this corresponding event from the chart. Oh no. As peril accumulates, these events get more and more dangerous. The final event tends to be lethal. Cool. Ooh, look at that image. God, that's a great image. And the alt text says digital illustration from the exterior of a bustling spaceport. 2 massive ships are docked, connected by a delicately thin bridge floating above the surface of a mist-swirled planet. Oh, that's so cool. Other spaceships wait, organized in queues by lights suspended in the space. The distance is an ongoing. Oh, in the distance is an orbiting station made from rings around a metal spike, and even further away is a large moon. Oh, here. Okay, I was like, that's no moon. So this is the one we're going for. We've got the breached. So the intractable is a scientific research vessel built for long-term orbit. Unfortunately, its low-gravity hull has been pushed beyond its limits, and the pressure is mounting. It will not remain intact for long. And they've got some more look at this artwork. It's great. The interactable illustration. The left half of the interactable is whole and organized. Solar panels and robot arms reach out from the vessel, whilst various windows into the research facilities and centrifugal chambers lie dormant. The right half of this illustration uses an inverted color scheme, and the ship's exterior continues, but is smashed along one side, and the massive pieces of debris scatter away from it. Woohoo! Oh, cool. I love that. The different colors there, the inverted pink. That's so cool. So as I said, the setup is no changes. And then we have these parallel events that will happen at, oh, wow, these are going to happen on my tracker, so I'm going to have to make a note of this. So at 15, at oxygen 15, the ship begins to collapse. Draw 3 rooms and discard 1. With rippling tremors, that room drifts off from the ship. Shuffle the other 2 cards back into the deck. At 30, a section breaks off from the ship. Pick up placed room and flip the card over. You cannot enter, interact, or replace that room. Oh no! Okay, that's quite scary. At 40 on the oxygen tracker, flip 3 rooms of your choice. And 45, discard 3 unplayed corridors. Each time you move on 50, flip a room you leave from, so it's literally breaking apart, and discard any unplayed rooms and corridors on 60. So this indicates to me that we're not going to be exploring too wide on this particular ship. So that's quite scary. What I will do, I know I haven't put that on our oxygen tracker, so I will put them now. So it was parallel event, and then parallel event was 30. And then, what was it, 40? Definitely, she says, having a look. Was it 40, 45, 50, 60? So we got 40, 45. Oh gosh, they're all coming together quite quickly. And 50. I don't think I'm going to survive this. And 60. Thank goodness we did get a high oxygen thing. Right, so that's that. I don't think there's anything else. And the other ones we could have had with like the infected. Look at those infection points there. That sounds scary. The raided, which is a juggernaut. Look, a great picture there. Gosh. The shifted, highly experimental ship whose existence is a tightly kept secret. Temporal shift drive there. Ooh, very good. So yeah, you can see you can play this game over and over using different ships, different explorers, etc. So I love that. I love about these solo games. The Stoat, which is a merchant vessel. And then there's the tracking sheet that I was saying. Like, it's a very beautiful tracking sheet. I really like it. It's just a shame that there wasn't a form fillable version of it that I could find easily. All right, so that's the setup. I think is done. You got to have that wonderful sort of kind of graph showing you yearly average deaths by age and occupation there. Classic. What else I was going to say? I was going to describe it as well. A collection of graphs labeled yearly. Yeah. Interesting. All right. So let's talk about the exploration of the stack. So I'm going to close the Explorer's Handbook because we don't need that anymore. So each room of the ship is illustrated on a card in the navigation deck. You build a growing map of the ship by drawing cards from the navigation deck and laying them next to each other, connecting the rooms and corridors by their doorways. Each room in the navigation deck has a number reference. Yes, we saw that on the earlier one. Let me see this. There we go. Here, that's the number reference there. So I'll tell you what the room is, right? When you enter a numbered room for the first time, turn to its page in the navigation guide. It will describe the room, its original function, and you will see what you can see and any special rules or interactions. Corridors. So this game's 6 corridor cards are not part of the navigation deck. Keep them nearby and face up. Whenever you would draw or discard a navigation card, you can choose to place or discard a corridor card instead. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, and there we go. Got them here as well. It says what they are. By the end of the game, you'll have a partial or full map of the spaceship unique to your playthrough. Special rules of some ID cards, contracts, and manifests, if we said this would alter the game, such as adding additional rooms to the deck and using alternate room descriptions or setting a specific starting location. Right, that's okay. Gosh, you got these graphs are frightening. I don't know about anyone else. So, first things first, we're going to place the airlock, which is labeled number 1, on a cleared surface such as a table or open floor. Well, we've got that already for the VTT. And then place your Explorer token on the top of it. Well, let's do that. I know it's already there, but let's zoom in, enhance. Boof, 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 boof. There we go. Such a big token, actually. I'll just put it there. Nice. Look at that. Very cool. Airlock. Then what does it say? Shuffle the navigation deck and begin your exploration by opening doors. Your explorer can leave the wreck at any time, either through the airlock or the evacuation pods, if available, but only once. Leaving the wreck will end your exploration phase and begin the third phase of epilogue. Okie dokie. Actions. Spend oxygen to complete different actions aboard the wreck. Use these actions to progress your contract, find out what happened, and escape perilous danger. Each room offers one or more doorways at their card's edge. I see. Spend one oxygen to open a doorway. When you do so, draw a card from the navigation deck and place it on the other side, revealing more of the wreck. You can choose to move your token into the newly placed room or remain in your current room. When placing a room, you must pair one of the doorways with the one from your current location. You may rotate it in any way you like before placing them, but once a card is placed, you may not make any changes. You cannot place a new room on top of an existing room. If the way you have placed a location blocks another location's doorway, that doorway is non-functional. Discarded rooms and doorways are never accessible unless specifically mentioned. So yeah, it's very much like Carcassonne if anyone's played that game. Great. What else? Moving. So you spend one oxygen to move your explorer token through a single doorway to a connected location. You can only move through a single doorway at a time. You can return to rooms you've already visited and move through the same doorway multiple times. Investigating rooms. Each room can be investigated, usually to progress your contract. You can only investigate a room you're currently in. Spend one oxygen to add a single tick to a room's investigation track. Log each room's progress with the tracker on the back of the handbook, so you've got that trackers on the Notion. Progress persists even after you leave a room, allowing you to come back and learn more at a later time. Nice. Okay. Oh, I see. So here we've got milestones. So that sort of that little circle, that sort of filled in circle is clues, and the events are numbered. Interesting. So each room's track contains a unique combination of milestones. They usually reward you with clues related to your progress of your contract, but can also reveal special events, interactions with other rooms, or provide you with tools. Once a milestone is unlocked, it cannot be unlocked again. Always resolve the room milestones before peril milestones. That's good to know. And yeah, we had one of the ID cards, means you could refresh one of the rooms if you wanted to. Okay, tools. This is an example of a tool card here. You may find tools as you explore the ship. Tools have their own special rules, often overriding basic and core concepts. When you find a tool, you'll be told whether to take a specific tool or draw one randomly. Always shuffle the tool deck before drawing a random tool. If you keep your tool cards nearby, you can refer to them as needed. They have a passive effect, or can have a passive effect, a discard effect, or both. So a passive effect is a moderate effect that persists as long as you have the tool, and discard is a powerful effect that is triggered by discarding the tool. Discarded tools are placed aside, becoming unavailable until you reset the game. Some of these tools also interact with specific ID cards, contracts, manifests, and all locations. And then we're going to have information about all these cards. So, okay, we've got them there just so we need them. We should be okay. We'll probably also say on the card as well, actually. We've got it here as an example here at the top. So that is fine. Succumbing. So there will be times where your explorer does not survive that exploration aboard the wreck. Whatever happened, take a few moments to process the end of your playthrough. Then describe what this means for the explorer's loved ones, their employer, and any other character relevant to their story or even the galaxy at large. What does your explorer think about in their final moments? Do they leave a message or something important behind for the next explorer? If they were able to complete their tasks of the contract, does that change, or does it change the universe even a little? Gosh, legacy. Okay, so we could basically there's a way we can pass on, so we can keep playing the same game. Perhaps if you had this legacy thing, we're not going to do that necessarily for this game. The idea is that we'll just have one sort of playthrough and see what we can do. So this game might be very short as a result. I know I spent like an hour just talking about the rules and stuff. And surviving, failing contract, we've kind of gone over at the end. Explorers are by nature desperate. The vacuum of space is an isolating and terrifying place. Your explorer has a life to return to outside of the wreck, outside of the contract they signed. However, who's to say that there won't be another time where they are trapped in an impossible situation where their only way out is a dubiously legal and definitely hazardous trip or visit to another wreck. You can play this again with the same explorer, keeping the benefits of their ID card or choosing a new one, blah, blah, blah. Excellent, excellent. And there we go. Oh, what a great image there. All right, so those are all the rules we've got. I'm going to keep this one open. Right, I think we're all set. I've got our characters. Let me just double check everything. We've got our character, we've got the analyst, we've got the contract, we've got the manifest itself. Clues, I think A, B, C, I think that must be tools. So I'm just going to type tools there. Tools. We have our oxygen tracker with the peril events on and the last gasp on. We have the different rooms with their little trackers as well. Yeah, I think we're ready to begin. All right. All righty, indeed. Yeah, it's really good artwork. I really like it. Indeed. All right, let's zoom out. Now, first things first, I'm going to make sure I learn all the things for this because I will say I've said it, already said it, but what I love the fact that this game, obviously, it has elements like with the PDF, you could get the cards as a PDF as well, and obviously you could print them out, etc. But I love the fact they've gone through the effort to create a free BTT with all the cards and stuff like that all ready for you to play. Really simple, like just, didn't even have to log in. Great. I'm saying this now because no doubt I will absolutely beef it, both in the playthrough and also using it. So bear with me. But I love the fact that this is free and I've not had to set anything up for it. So in terms of accessibility for a solo RPG, amazing. Great shout. Oh, and I see what they've done here. So these are the slots for, I'm guessing these places on this. Oh, maybe not then. I was going to say, is this for the tools? Probably not. Okie dokie. So one thing I was going to do is I definitely want to shuffle the decks if I can. Oh, there's a fly. Missed it. Never mind. So let's see. We've got. So yeah, as I said, the blue cards are what we're going to use for our rooms. The item deck is there. You can see we've got 24 rooms there. And the non-standard decks. We're not going to use any of the non-standard because that depends on your different manifest and Rex as well. So I think we're just going to use the normal standard. We're not going to take anything out of that, which is fine. I'm going to select a stack, this one, and then I'm just going to shuffle it. Ooh, that was a very exciting animation. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to select it. I think it's selected. Ooh, and we're just going to. Oh, that's very exciting. I hope that works. Great. I think we'll just begin, shall we? All right. So unfortunately, because we're in a room, I mean, I don't know if I want to start off instantly with a corridor. Probably not, because that won't be fun. But let's start off with a room. So as a result, I'm opening a door. So we do, I'm just going to do this. We're going to use one to open the door. The door opens, and we're going to place down a room. So let's pick one. Okay. This is exciting. All right. And then what I do love about this as well, so obviously we've got these shortcuts here, but also if you right click, it says you can also do them here. So you don't have to be like, oh, press F, whatever, but you can click them on here. So we're going to flip it. Ooh, what's this? Number 17 is, oh, it's security screening. That was an interesting thing when I was looking through this track. So I put them as separate things. Oh, so they must be the same. Oh, I understand now. I thought, hang on, let me make sure I make that note. I thought it was the same. I thought it was two different things. Oh no, what are you doing, Fiona? I've ruined it as usual. All right, interesting. Oh, it makes sense that we'd have a security screening. So yeah, that makes sense. So you can see here, this is where screening would be, and this is where security would be. So I think we'll do that there. Look at that. That's so exciting. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I love that. Look at the drawing of it. I like this sort of the grid-like pattern behind it as well. So yeah, I assume security would then look through. It feels very much like the beginning of Alien Isolation when you go into that sort of waiting room and there's that security booth there as well. No spoilers. Right, so let's go to number 17. So that is screening. We're going through to screening, and then we've got one exit there on the east side, and we can see there's a room going off to security. Oh, this is exciting. Oh, but no, sorry, I forgot. We're going to move the little meeple person, and that's going as we're moving into a room. We need to. That's going to be another oxygen. Oh, God, bloomin' oxygen. All right, 2. Okie dokie. Where is my? There we go. There we go. I wish there was a way to make the meeple foot smaller, but it's fine. So yeah, we're in screening just now. So let's go see what screening is about, shall we? So that's number 17. So we're going to go, whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't look at anything. It's spoilers. Spoilers. Ah, okay. God, look at that. Look at the artwork. It's great, isn't it? Oh, am I going to sneeze? Question mark? No. Okay, so I'm going to read the alt text out because I think that's always good. So the security and screening illustration. So a wall-mounted monitor is filled with 9 camera feeds, 2 of which are blank. The other feeds feature the line work from other rooms. Top left to bottom right, the tool closet, a library, the hall, the quarters, the commissionary, the observation, and workshop. Various wires are neatly organized, feeding into a nearby sound monitoring board. Ah, you see, you don't like that instantly. Like this is the thing. I'm not great at alt text, right? When I used to do content creation for a university, but this has just neatly summed up what that image is about. And now anyone who is unable to see it for whatever reason, whether they are partially sighted, have difficulty processing images, or even just doesn't have the PDF doesn't load properly, so you don't have the images. You instantly know what you can instantly visualize what it is. It is that's why I'm like alt text is actually really good for dungeon masters and game masters because then you instantly go, oh, that's what I can describe my room to be like. So the walls lined with monitors, computers, and surveillance equipment, all intended to keep tabs. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's security. We're coming into screening. That's my bad. So cameras in the corner are angled to cover every inch of the space. A holographic poster embedded in the wall scrolls out a succession of warning notices regarding unacceptable behaviors, each one more bureaucratic than the last. Okay, and you can see here. So this is our little tracker here at the bottom. Oh, look at a special rule. You can only move between the screening and security sections if you have the master key card. Oh, hang on. If I go back to maybe there's like there you see it. There's a tiny, tiny room. Just that was not a room, but there's the doorway there. It's because it's in blue, so you couldn't see it. So you can only go into this room if you have the master key card, which we don't have. Okay, okay. Maybe you need to find a master key card at some point then. Okay. So that's a special rule for this room. Uh, and then we've got 5 things here in the investigation thing. So we could spend literally like a lot of oxygen to get to A, the screening event, which is if you find a free word message that has been hastily carved into a plastic surface, gain 1 clue. I think that's fine. I think we've moved into this room. I think we should be okay. I don't think I feel like we shouldn't be investigating it just yet. Let me just check what the investigation stuff is because it's. I mean, just double check. Where is it? Entering and exiting actions 12. So each door, we've opened that, placing the rooms, done that. Investigating rooms. Usually, you can only investigate room you're currently in. I don't think we need to do that. I think we're okay. So we're gonna move on. What I think we should do next. Placing rooms because I said I could place down. Where did it? I could place down like a corridor instead, couldn't I? Let me just double check. That's succumbing. So I'm just double checking because I don't want to get anything wrong. Corridors. They are not part of the navigation deck. Keep them nearby face up. Whenever you would draw or discard a navigation card, can choose to place or discard a corridor instead. Right, so I think I'm going to do that for the next one. We're going to go off to the east here. And because we are, she says, going back up here, because of our skill, opening doors in corridors does not cost oxygen. I mean, I guess if we're being technical, we are in a room opening into a corridor, whereas we're not in a corridor opening into a room. So, okay, we will spend another oxygen to open this door. God, you're just spending oxygen like willy-nilly. You're just taking 1 deep breath as you go. Oh, that's why it's called one last breath. Oh, 1 breath left. So this is the problem I had earlier. It's 1 breath left, not 1 last breath. It's because it's called last gasp is the thing. Dear oh dear. Okay. So 1 breath left. And we've spent it, so we've used 3 of our oxygen so far. And we're gonna get one of the corridors down here. So which one do we think? Ooh, let me zoom out a little bit. Ooh, we've got this one which splits up into 2. We've got this one that's also splits up into 2. What's that though? What's in corridor A? Is that like that looks like not a grid, like a grating of some sort. we've got a room here of corridor C, corridor D, a little, oh, look at that little cubby hole, little meeting room that you could go into. Oh, no, 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 I didn't want to pick it up. Oh, look at that. Your corridor underneath it. Oh, this art was brilliant. I love it. And then other corridors there as well. I wonder if I zoom out a little bit. So those are our choices. If people want to put in the chat corridors A, B, C, or D, like which one we should go for, let's go for it. I'm just going to see if there's anything in our. These are all the alternative ones. They're in red, which we're not using. Ooh, I'm going to see if there's anything about. So there's nothing about the corridors themselves. Okay. I just wanted to check if there was anything. But yeah, let me know if there's a particular one people want to use. My gut is to have one that has 2 openings, so maybe not C or D, or E, or F. So maybe sorry, I've limited the choice to A or B. I think A would be good because we've got 3 different choices, I guess. And what that means if we use A, I'm figuring, we can then open several rooms without using oxygen, right? Because to open my specialist skill, the structural analyst, I can spend oxygen. I can open rooms, but I don't need to go into the rooms. That's something to think about. All right, I'm going to give you. I think I'm pretty sure A is probably the way forward. I'm going to use A. Unless there's anyone that says anything else. No, I don't think so. Let me just double check. No. All right. I'll take your silence as consent, everyone. And we're going to use A. Let's push that up here. Whoop. We're going to do it. I think, yes, let's do it like that. And enhance. Nice. It is really like Carcassonne, isn't it? All right. And then I'm going to spend another oxygen to get into the corridor. Poof. Alrighty. So that we've used 4. Ugh. Okay. So now, like I said, here it's up here. Opening doors and corridors does not cost oxygen. So I'm just going to open 3 doors. And we're going to have rooms coming off each of them. I think that's my plan. So let's do that. So it doesn't cost me any oxygen. Look, I know I'm gaming the system a little bit, but this is what's happening. So we're going to have 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And where should we? I think we'll do them one at a time, obviously. Let's go for, what's this one? Let's do a little, we're going to, I was going to say flip. Ooh, what's this? Oh, I found life support. Well, isn't that wonderful? I think, well, let's do it in order. So I'm going up north, east, and west. So I'm going to go for north for this one. I'm going to have to switch it around a little bit because like if I placed it here, it wouldn't. Basically the door would not work. I feel like I want to have as much doors open as possible. So let us switch this around. I'm guessing it's going to be. Oh, are you gonna? No. Oh, let me. What is it? It's going to be something silly like. It's just R to rotate. So let's do that. Oh, that's the wrong R. You can rotate. I love the fact you can rotate the board as well. Rotate the board. Let's move card. How do I rotate a card? There you go. E. We go. E and then shift. So let's try shift and R. Oh no, that's not it either. Hang on. There we go. Put life support very close by security. That's pretty useful, I think. Yes. All right. And then let's see what it says in a life support, shall we? So that was, I completely forgot what it was. Is it 20? No. There you go, 12. So it says here, a densely packed machinery and low-hanging ductwork makes it difficult to navigate this space. Here, the ship's air was recycled and its water reclaimed, making life on the ship possible. But if not possible, but if not pleasant. There is something you need. There is something you need to survive. It might be in this room. I can and spend some stuff. I can get a tool, and then I could get a clue perhaps, because we need to get loot at some point. What was it that we had to do for loot? What did it say in the thing? Oh, I've closed it, haven't I? Let me look at the. Come back. So loot was in the contract. Oh, each time you complete a rune track, gain 1 loot. Oh, balls. Okay. Oh, okay. So we need to complete at least 2 rune tracks to get at least 2 loot. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. So we can come into this. If we move to this room, spend some stuff, we can try and sort that out. So if you have a special rule here is that if you have the condenser valve tool, you may discard it whilst in this room to siphon air from emergency reserves. This does not work in tandem with event 2. Okay. Increases your lung capacity by 15, marking a new cap on your oxygen track. Ooh. That would be good. Okay. So that's something I could have there. So that's one option if we want to go into there. But let's look at the other 2 rooms that I've opened, thanks to my skill. Let's go for this bottom one. That's going to go on the east one. Flip. Oh, we've got a laboratory. That's cool. A little rooms in there. Okay, so let's look at the laboratory. That's number 10 on this track. The doors open. Once the center of the ship's scientific mission. Oh god, so close to the screening room, huh? This room is now filled with debris. A large workspace with multiple computer terminals is surrounded by floating detritus, the accoutrements, great word, of experimentation. So much for the endless march of scientific progress. Unlicensed asset acquisition. That's me. That's what I've done. There's a ton of sellable materials in here. Research samples, high-end equipment, proprietary manuals, and documented findings. Gain 1 loot for each milestone instead of on-track completion. Ooh, okay. Great. So I could spend a lot of oxygen in here. Excellent. So the events as well. We don't need to look at them just yet. Okay, so I feel like that's going to be the good one to go forward. That's great. We can get 2 loot in here instantly, and then we can explore the rest of the thing. That's exciting. Okay. What was that? What did the circle things mean again? I can't remember off the top of my head. Hang on. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember these things as I'm going. It wasn't that. It was tracker of milestones. I think it was like it wasn't an event because the numbers were the events, weren't they? So I'm trying to remember things as we're going along. Oh, clues. It was a clue. Right. I can't remember what clues do. Can't remember what clues do. I think it was something from the. Well, anyway, so that's that room. I'm going to reveal this final room that's going to go below. Let's flip. Ooh, it's a workshop. Ooh, well, I think maybe. It doesn't matter which way. I think I'm going to put it either this way or if I flip it this way, because then I want to be able to connect up to the security thing here, perhaps. I think what would be useful is if I were able to psych up somehow security and the workshop, and then if we are able to find that master key, then we can snip back and there'll be like a shortcut if we've managed to find it. So that's something there. So I think we'll go. No, I think no. Maybe it's better to do it like that. Because we're going to go in here. I think we're going to go into the laboratory for sure, and then we're going to pick up some stuff. Yes, we're getting there. You can see I'm thinking out loud. Okay, right. So those are the rooms that we've got. So we've got life support up north. We've got laboratory to the east, and workshop to the south. The life support has 2 exits. Laboratory has 1 exit, and workshop has 2 exits. Sorry, I've got to match him up perfectly, otherwise I'll be docked points like in Carcassonne. And I've managed to open them all up for free, which is great. I think what benefits me is going into the laboratory and doing that salvage stuff. So let's do that. I'm going to go spend 1 to go into the room. So that marks us down. We're on 5 now. So let's strike through. So we're on 5 here. And then let's do some investigating, shall we? So let me just double check. Oh, did I not? I didn't look through the workshop. I'm so sorry. That's what I should have done first. So the workshop, a practical space for the maintenance and repair of ship parts. Large equipment like saws and stationary welders are built into the broad work tables. Pull-out racks hold small items like rivets, and massive cabinets hold sheets of metal used to patch up the bulkheads. A special rule is that if you've not already found the tool lockers, search the navigation deck for it and place it on top. The tool lockers? Is that? I'm guessing that's a tool rather than in the navigation deck, but or maybe it's sorry, I'm just double checking. No, there's no. I realise that these oh no, tool lockers is there. Place it on top. Oh, so it'll be the next room you uncover. I understand. And then I've got our events there, and it says raided. You may spend 4 oxygen to take a handful of scrap and some rivets and rig up something that will cause a lot of noise. This counts as a distraction. Well, that's ominous, isn't it? All right, but I think what we'll do the laboratory. She says trying to find it. There we go. Do the laboratory. We'll spend the stuff. We'll do that first event for sure and gain the clue. I am going to just check what clues mean. I feel like keeping a log. Let's gasp. Sorry, I just want to check because I don't remember what they mean. Because I think clues help us work out what's happened here, right? That's the plan. But they're not like a card I have to draw, I don't think. I mean, it's something I make up, but I just want to double check before I just, willy-nilly change the rules of this game, Milestones, clues related to progressing your contract. Oh, the contract, of course, that's probably what it is. Look at the contract. Clues. Each time you loot, only activate for each loot. So I think that maybe in this case it is just loot. Perhaps I'm grabbing rather than clues. She says. Okie dokie. I will. Let me think. Just have a quick look. I think what we'll do. Can't find it quickly. I'll have a look in the break. Essentially, what it means. Legacy clues. No clues. I have no clue as usual. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, what we'll do though, we'll definitely do that first. We'll definitely do that first event, and then we'll put down the clue, and I'll have a quick look in the break. So we moved in, so we use that space. We're at 5. I'm going to investigate the room by doing 1, 2, 3, spending 3, which will gain a loot. Maybe it's. Maybe I'm being silly. So anyway, let's do this bit by bit. So we're at 5, 6, 7, and 8. Spend 3. We get. I think event. So maybe I'll just do that. We'll do event here, just so I remember where it is. Lab event. How about that? Lab event. With a quick look around, which primary field of science, for example, xenobotany, interstellar physics, is represented by the research equipment, and gain 1 clue and gain 1 loot for each milestone instead of things. So I'm going to gain. Oh, I see. So that would be the clue. Is what my answer is. I remember. So let's do the clue first, and then we'll say what the loot is on that front. So maybe I'll do loot here as well. Clue 1. Okay, so lab. What do we think? Science. I mean, it's always easy to just take the one that they've done here. I wonder if they mentioned. I think it's very easy for me to go xenobotany and be like, this is aliens. I think interstellar physics, and we could go down that sort of Star Trek Discovery route of doing the spore drive sort of thing. So maybe alternate timelines and that sort of thing. So I think we'll do that. I think what we see is like uh, I enter the room and looking around in my big old boiler suit, which obviously every so often plays like "Let's not rot," haha. You see, looking around, there's all these desks filled with like old sort of retro futuristic computers, and the sort of they had that green text a la Alien, but there's these beakers and containers, clear containers. Some of them are broken, but in them it's not like alien creatures or specimens. It looks to be like some sort of spectral sort of dust that keeps sort of over and over changing and moving and switching around. And every so often there's like little lightning in between the dust particles, which is super cute, which I really like. So yeah, I think interstellar physics will do that. And the idea of alternate timelines could come into it. Or not alternate timelines, but like portals shifting, but then that could lead to going to different multiverses, perhaps. A bit beyond me as part of Zeus Network, but you know. So what we're saying, we said dusk particles in clear containers, little lightning storms in jars. Field notes on desks. Indecipherable due to big tea cup, deep tea mug stains. Super duper. There you go. That's our first clue. And loot wise, we'll take one of the containers. Now, here's the thing. It's going to tell me to take +1 oxygen as a result of this. So it's going to increase that load, which sucks, but that is fine. All right, team, we've come up to the 1.5 hour mark, which I think, that's good, isn't it? So if we go back to, if we're not already on just me, my normal face, that'll be amazing. Thank you so much, team. It was, let me just find my little script just in case. There we go. Thank you so much, team, for taking, I think we're doing okay so far. Nothing has gone wrong. Touch wood. If you haven't already, please join in the giveaway that we're doing digital copies of One Breath Left. All you need to do is type in !last gasp to enter it. We're going to be back in about 10 minutes and we're going to continue our story. So please take a moment to go hydrate yourself, move about a bit if you're so inclined. Maybe just check on your own thrusters. Maybe check on your own little dusk containers and all that sort of thing. And then we'll be back we'll be back after the break in 10 minutes where we're going to explore more about what happened aboard this now abandoned spaceship. Who knows? All right, my friends, we'll see you back in 10. Bye. Hello and welcome back to this stream of One Breath Left, a solo journaling science fiction horror game. I appreciate it's not been much in terms of journaling, just me just voicing my thoughts out loud, about an explorer tasked with determining what happened aboard a now abandoned spaceship. So far, I don't think there's been anything in terms of content warnings that I can think of. Again, just space in general, dangerous. We are sort of in the hazardous sort of a wreck of some sort called the I was going to say the Redacted. I don't think that's what it's called at all. It is a derelict thing where we're going for salvage and acquisitions and stuff. And yeah, so again, as always, please go check out Stoat store.co.uk for all that stuff. If you want, we've got some giveaways happening in the chat. So if you type in hashtag !last gasp, you'll be entered into our draw to get a digital copy of the game. So please go and do that. There unfortunately is no physical copy of this game yet. They are sold out everywhere. But there will be a crowdfunder at some point. But if in the meantime, go check out their itch and go check out stoat.co.uk. Okie dokie. Let's return back to the VTT if possible. So now I have done a little bit of changes just during the break because instead of having the poor producer following me everywhere over the VTT, because it's a very big VTT, we've moved everything up a little bit. So the things we have here, we might have to go back and forth a little bit depending on if we can go to any alternate rooms. I don't think so because of the setup we've got, so everything is fine. I will say in the process, I have lost my meeple. I don't know where they've gone. I think they must have zoomed off the map at some point, but that is fine. We know that we're in the laboratory. And that's where we were getting at stuff. So just to recap, for those people who are joining us at the break, let's go back to my tracking sheet and bring it over. So we have, we've got our analyst, got a high lung capacity. We've got this door opening thing, which we used before the break. We managed to open the doors in the corridor area, which doesn't cost oxygen, which was pretty blummin' useful. And then we've gone into the, we've got some loot as well. We picked up one loot, which is one of these containers. We found a clue in the lab itself. And yeah, essentially we are trying to at least get 2 loot and then be able to make our way back without anything bad happening. The more loot we have, the more oxygen we use as a result. And yes, that is that. Oh, actually, you know what I should have done? Apologies, I didn't mark these off. So I was going to do sort of, so I was going to do a tick of some sort, but I've not done that. But we've done that one, we've done this one, and we've done this one. This is one of the room tracks. So just in case you missed it, I created this sort of Notion document so that we could look at the look at the tracks, etc. You wouldn't have to see me struggling on a image. So we're currently here. We've done one of the events here in the laboratory, and so that's where we are currently. And like I said, we've got 1 loot. And we've got a clue as well, what happened here. And the clue we sort of came up with the prompt is that we found evidence of interstellar physics, these sort of dust particles in clear containers, this idea of trying to basically move objects, move ships throughout space, almost like sort of like squeezing, basically like portals essentially. That's what I was sort of thinking about. We found some notes on the desk, but they're indecipherable, sorry, due to big T mug stains, because that's classic. There you go. The intractable, that's what it's called, a science vessel on there as well. Excellent. All right, so we don't need any of this for the moment. Let's go back to our VTT, as I was saying. So we are currently here. We could continue going through this way, or we could go back and explore the life support or the workshop, which has other things that we could do. Okay, we looked at those briefly. I wonder, though, maybe I think we should go back and try and work our way up to security, because this is the thing. In security, we have this door here, which we can't access because we need the key card for it, which is going to be in one of these item decks, I imagine. I do know for a fact that we could get an item in here in the life support, which could be quite helpful, and it will raise our lung capacity later on. And the other thing to note is that in this particular salvage mission, if we complete a room's track, we will get a loot, get 1 loot essentially. Now, while we're in the laboratory, here it says we could gain a loot if we do another milestone instead, which could be quite important. So this one is a clue. So we get another clue here, so that'll be another loot as a result, which I think is probably worthwhile. So that then we have another, then we've completed the task at least. What that will mean, though, is that I think it's for every loot we had would increase, would take another 1. It would take another 1 result. So let me see where it was. It wasn't the wreck. Here it is. Each time you complete a room track, gain 1 loot. Exactly. It may contain additional loot if you meet their conditions. So that's what happened in the lab. Moving costs 1 extra loot per loot carried. So if we're going through a doorway with 2 loot, it will cost 3 oxygen. And we may drop it at any time. I guess it's a question of whether we find a place that's because this feels very lucrative, this particular room, that there's lots of stuff here. I guess we could always come back, but I feel like if we leave the loot, I don't know. So I think that's what I'm going to spend another 3 oxygen. So that was what the track was, wasn't it? And the 3 oxygen to get this clue here. So that's what we'll do. So we'll do done, and then we're going to move that and done there. So we're going to spend another 3. So that's 9, 10, 11. And then we cross these ones off. And we're going to get a clue. Sorry, go to lab clue. So what other clue could we find in this particular Well, it's not a... Well, hang on. Have I mucked that up? Let me think. Because this is another event. So this is a milestone. It's a milestone. 8 milestones. So these, I think, these are technically milestones, are they not? Let me double check. Those are tools. Special rules. Yeah, we've done the ticks. I thought what I do would like, again, this is a quite cool thing, is like adding ticks, sort of like if you were doing it in game, I think it would feel like more like, it would feel scarier, wouldn't it? Like, because you're like, oh gosh, it feels like very final, seeing almost like the oxygen meter going down. Right, let me double check. Looking. Trackers and milestones. Milestones are events will occur. This process ticked off, activating a corresponding event. Yes, but I don't know if a clue means an event. These are milestones. There you go. So that is a milestone. Great. Milestones. Wait to see your progress, but can reveal special. Great. So we get another loot, essentially, another clue. So what do you think that could be for the lab? I think we can make it simple for ourselves. It could be... Oh, I tell you what it is. It is... Let me go back to my Notion. I think seeing these field notes, they're all spilt over and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I noticed that they're actually typed. They're not written out. So I'm like, oh, maybe they're on the computer somewhere. And I see there is a floppy disk, and it says field notes. the simplest ones are the best. So field notes. So that will be field notes on a floppy disk. But because it's going to add to the oxygen, right? Let's spell oxygen full. It's one of those big ones. It's huge. It's massive. Proper 80s style. So, lab, field notes, and research on a floppy disk. Floppy disk. Yeah, I would assume for this particular mission, clues also equals... Well, maybe not. Maybe clues would also equal loot, perhaps, or at least it doesn't differentiate from them. So I was going to do that. I'm not going to put too much detail on that. But okay, so I grab a container. I see this big floppy disk, and I go, yoink, that's mine as well. So I've got those. As a result, I'm going to have a +3 to my oxygen, which it's going to be hard. I can already see there's going to be a peril event happening at 15, which is scary, but it'll be fine. All right, but we've got another 4 till we get there. So it'll be open the door and move. Okay, where should we go then? Let me look at the... So we're in the laboratory now. I wonder... I know I can get a tool in here. I wonder if maybe I should go like around this way towards the west and down and go into the workshop. I mean, alternatively, no, it doesn't matter, because I was going to say I could open another corridor, but it would still cost the same. It would still cost 1 to open the door into the corridor, and then 3 to move. Do I have to keep spending it every time I go into the corridor? Sorry, every time I have to open the door. Let me just double check. You can return to and move through the same doorway multiple times. But I'm guessing the door always shuts behind me, which would totally make sense if that is the case. Yeah, I've actually been back on myself, so... Open the door. When you do, draw a card and place it on the other side, revealing more direct. Placing rooms. Yeah, that's fine. Moving. Done that. Single doorway at a time. You can return to rooms you've already visited and move through the same doorway multiple times. But does that mean I spent to open the doorway back again? It doesn't say otherwise. So I'm going to assume that I have to, that the door's always shut behind me. Well, no, because that's going to be... You can try the rooms you've visited multiple times. Doesn't say. I'm just trying to think. Progress, even if you're allowing you to come back for a later time, just because it's gonna cost me so much to get back into this. I've opened these doors. I've already opened these doors, haven't? Well, I can open it because of the corridor thing, so that's not too bad. All right, fine. Okay, I'm going to spend 1 to get from the laboratory back into the corridor, and that's going to be 4 in total. I think that's right. It's moving costs extra when I have loot. Right, that was what the thing said. Let me double check. Finding loot. Yeah. Moving costs extra. So in total to move, so that's 12. 13, 14, 15. So the parallel event will happen. Alrighty. So the corridor is back open. Ooh. Parallel event 15. Let's go to that. So that's going to be. I probably shouldn't have closed that other thing, should I? Oops. Let me ignore that for a second. Haha. Let me find. Where has it gone? No, that's not it. There we go. One last breath. Resources. Explorer's Handbook. There we go. Ooh, let's get rid of. Put it back to where it was. This is why you never ever shut anything on your computer. Right. Enables. Okay, so we were. This is where we were. Acquisitions. No, that wasn't it. It was the breach one. There we go. So the ship is beginning to collapse. Draw 3 rooms and discard 1. With rippling tremors, that room drifts off from the ship. Shuffle the others back into the deck. Okay, right. So this is what happens. So we can feel, as soon as I step, there's a bit of a mighty groan, and 3 of the rooms from the deck. All right, let's do that then. So here we go. We've got 1, 2, and 3. And I'm gonna flip them so that we can see. Why not? Oh, the vault. Oof, that would have had some good stuff in it, I think. The hold. Okay, more stuff in it. And when drawn, swap this card for a non-standard room in E if E swaps empty. Oh, I see. I was meant to do something with E. So discard this card and draw again. Okay, that's fine. We weren't doing anything with that. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna. So we'll discard that. Whoops. Let's keep going like that. Oh, I did not. I thought let me. I'll tell you what. Let me. I was gonna say, can I? I think it was. I'm just gonna keep taking them because we're not gonna. There we go. The lounge. All right. What I will do quickly, I'll just get rid of these in the discard so we don't see them. Just give me 2 seconds whilst I do it. There we go. Discard. Yeah, so you can, if you got the alternate things, you can do it like that, but we're not doing that. So here are the 3 cards. One of these goes, I think, to make it serious, what are we thinking? Maybe get rid of the vault. The vault has a very long. I think it would suit me, to be honest, because like the vault itself has 12 markers on the thing, and so it would take forever to get rid of the to complete the track of it. Okay, let's get rid of the vault. So we're going to discard the vault. So I'm going to put it quickly back down here. There we go. And all right, and then these 2, I'm going to shuffle them back into the deck. Put them back up on here. Now, here's the real question: is how do I shuffle? Sorry, I'm going to quickly check. Select cards. So I'm going to select all in the deck, control, select card, and then control, plus, and then Z. Okay. And Z. There you go. I love that little animation. It's great. All right. Great. So I've moved back into corridor A. The parallel event has happened. I now have a choice to open rooms. And to be honest, I know what I could do. I could open this and spend all the stuff and get back to the airlock. However, I've got a bit of time. I don't know if it's worth going to the workshop or to the life support. Let's see, what was the benefits? So the life support was 2. Find a tool of your choice. I mean, tools would be good. And then the other one was workshop, which was 20. If you've not found it, and then we get the tool lockers. What does a tool lockers do? Two lockers. Place it on top. Oh, it can't. I think let's. I'm tempted to go through workshop. Hang on, let me go back to the thing. I'm tempted to go through the workshop, get a corridor, and then we've got to go into security and see if I can find anything security, and then maybe go here. I think that will be the best bet, perhaps. So let's do that. So we open for 3 because of our skill. We open up this corridor. We then move 3, which is so expensive. Oh, we move. We do 3. So that's 15, 16, 17, 18. So we move 18. And then we're going to open the room off to our left. Now, I'm going to... Do we want it to be another corridor? It means that we will open the door for free afterwards. So it gives a little bit of respite as a result. I think so. I think that's the smart move. So I reckon we do corridor C as a result, and we'll switch it around so it's like that. There we go. And so so then we open the door. That's 1. Oh gosh, hang on. Yeah, I did move. So we opened 1, we moved into here 3, and it's going to cost us 1 to open, another 1 free to go in there. Oh Lord, it's these 3 things are. I don't know if I should have done that. Oh, this is tricky. Okay, so it's 1 to open the door into the corridor, and then another free, so it's another 4. I don't think I'm going to get out. I'm not going to get out. So 19, 20. So that's 2, 21, 22. So 21, 22. Excellent. Okay. We're now in the corridor. I now have made that choice. But then I'm going to open the next door without spending anything, and then we're going to move through. So that's going to be 23, 24, and 25. Oh, 25. So we are here. God, using up this oxygen like no tomorrow. Okay. I can see that parallel event on the horizon. It's coming for me. I probably do need to have more. Cards, more location on the deck, just to get rid of something, perhaps. Okay, so I've moved into security. Let me just move that across. Security. So what does security do? There we go. So we had this. So walls lined with monitors, computers, and surveillance equipment, all intended to keep tabs on the ship and its crew members. A red light blinks slowly in the far off corner, marking where the ship's black box, its living memory is. Excellent. Okay, so security events. So if we've spent 2 in here, quick glance around uncovers an urgent security message. What does it say? Gain 1 clue. Gain the master key card tool. Oh, okay. And then so if we were doing the footage mission, we could do that. Okay. I wonder if it's worth doing that. So how much would we spend? We spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 oxygen. And we get the key card tool, which we need in order to move to the next section, to move back through. I think we should do that. So if I did that, so we'd gain, we have to do security event. A quick glance around uncovers an urgent security message. What does it say? And then gain the key card and get a clue as well. Okay, yeah, I think, and I'm just thinking, because we've got what we're on 125. So the parallel event will happen if we spend all the things. And that's going to get rid of one of the rooms. Hopefully, it's not going to get rid of the screening security room. All right, let's do it. So we're on 25. We're going to spend that first one, which was the 1, 2, to get the clue. So let's spend that whilst I remember. So, whoops. So 26, 27. And the thing is, a quick glance on it covers an urgent security measures. What does it say? It's probably going to say hull breached. Like the thing's collapsing. It's not doing very well. So what's the word? So hang on. Security. Emergency message. Emergency message. What's the word? Not whole crippled. What's the whole integrity? Whole integrity. Oh no. Integrity question? No, that's not it. There's whole. I think hull breached. Hull breached will be better. Hull breached. Breached. Shields. I think probably shields depleting. Shields depleting. Deplete. Oh gosh. Depleting. Yeah, that's it. Holds depleting at currently at 30%. Something like that. So that's going to be the clue. We don't need any more loot, technically. We're going to get another clue anyway because of this thing here. So we want to... Oh, I need to mark it off in the thing, don't I? Yeah, the tracker. Security. So we're done. Done. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think... definitely, let's do up to 3. We'll get the peril event there. So we'll do 28, 29, 30. Oh, 30's on it, and that's when we get the peril event. Cool. Here, I've got the peril event insecurity. Yes, sorry. Brain not functioning. We're doing on time. I've got a little bit of time. Okay, so we get another clue. So let's do the clue first. We get the other clue. Security. So I think maybe what we see, we play back some footage, because it did talk about footage in the other thing, didn't it? You can choose to gain the footage tool instead of the master key card. I think I'm looking for... You know what I find? I know what it is. I find as I get in and I see these like emergency, hull breached, hull integrity at 70%, and it's slowly going down. And it's like, there's no warning alarms or anything like that. There's definitely like red lighting and stuff. But I wonder if I go to the desk and I'm looking at these monitors and stuff of the different rooms, I notice that there is a lot of dust everywhere, like piles of sand or dust on chairs, under the chairs, like around the computers. And I noticed that the dust actually, like when I look at it and I sort of focus it, and it's that sort of thing where first of all you don't see the wood for the trees, that sort of thing. I think I see humanoid shapes. So again, maybe very 80s style, but like people's hands on the keyboard, but it's just the outline of them in dust. And I look around and I notice that there's a lot more dust in this room. It looks like whoever was sat in these chairs, these security things, anyone standing up, there's just piles of dust as if they've been disintegrated in some way. So yeah, there you go. Piles of, I don't want to say human remains, but piles of dust. Dust? Question mark? In humanoid shapes. On console panels, chairs, etc. Not great. But then the peril event happens. So let's go look at that. So 30, a section of the ship breaks off. Pick a room and flip the card over. You cannot enter or interact with or replace that room. Now, let's face it, looking at this, it can't be the airlock. Well, I mean, technically there is the evacuation pods I know exist in this deck somewhere, so I could put them up there. I wonder, maybe it's one of those things where I'm just like, because I managed to get the loot out, the laboratory goes. I wish it kind of said it was at random. That's the thing. I bet. Well, the workshop is because I think no, that makes sense. So the workshop is the thing that goes. I hear like I see it happening. I see it on the screen that the light goes dark in the workshop and it goes into that sort of static fuzz, and as a result, I hear them like sealing off the thing, and I just hear it just completely disintegrate. The horrible sound of like uh, breaking and ripping and tearing on metal, that sort of thing. And the workshop is gone, which is scary because that means that I can't get back. Also, I think until I spend that much in terms of the key cards, spend that much of the oxygen to get the key card. Let's try that. Okay, so that happens. That's parallel event. And then what did it say for this? It said, so we've done up to. So we do the clue stuff. So we've done 5. I'm going to do another 2 and get the key card tool as a result. Whew. Okay. Okay. Parallel event. 31, 32. Okay, and then we get tool. Now I think I can just type it out. Now I think I can just pick up the tool from the deck, right? I can just search for it. Let me just double check that quickly. You were told ever to find it, so always shuffle the tool deck before drawing a random tool to take a specific tool. Okay, let's find that master key card then, shall we? Let's flip it. Oh, the Mayday beacon, so it's not that. Nope, not the spectromagnetic camera. God, those images. I love the little icons on them. They're pretty good, aren't they? Oh, come on. We're not flicking? I was going to say, come on. Transportable driver. Oh, drive, sorry. Oh, look at that little keychain on that. That's super cute. Are we flip and rotate? Incriminating footage. Infrared flashlight. I just wished it. Come on, I know you're here somewhere. Shortwave orientation system. Condenser valve. I think we needed that in the life support. Maintenance droid. No, come on. We'll get there, I promise. Master keycard. Hooray. All right. Let's just grab a couple of these items and pop them back together. And that one as well, and that one as well. Can I? Oh, that's quite exciting. I can flip them all like that. Okay, flip all. Great, pop them back on here. And then let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then shuffle for Z. There we go. Oh, bit intuitive, this, isn't it? That's all right. All right, master key card. So when you open doorways in location, you can open up to 3 doorways at once. Wait, is that the one I wanted? Hang on. Master key card tool. Yeah, that's great. That's exactly what I need. Brilliant. All right, let's put that in the document. Tools with the master key card. Okay, great. All right. So I can imagine then I've seen all this thing, and then in the middle of one of the piles of dust, I see there is like a little plastic wallet type thing, and I pick it up. No, not a wallet. Sorry, like a lanyard. And I can see like I don't know what stopped it, but maybe it was like maybe it was in like a metal or maybe some sort of protector thing, and I can see it says master key card in big red letters. I'm like, got it. So I can use this now. When you open doorways in a location, you can open it up to 3 doorways at once. Now that could be useful in coming back and opening the doorways, going back up. But I just want to check one thing. Let's see about these tools. Do they have a certain amount of use? Specific ID cards. Does it say anything about this? I just want to double check. Master keypad. Oh, spend 1 oxygen for once. Right, so it still spends oxygen, fine, but it's not like it's what's the word? It's not like it is free uses only or something like that. Okay. Right. So I can get out of here. But how much oxygen do we have left? We have 32. It's not even halfway. The parallel events will keep happening no matter what. I want to go and check one more room. Just one more room. Just one more room and see where we go, you know? Oh, and I should fill up this. So we've got oh, of course, we do get, because we filled out this track, apologies, we do get another loot. I'm gonna take oh, yeah, might as well. I'm gonna take a master key card is gonna be loot for me. Again, I'm just trying to keep it simple as possible, so that's another +1 oxygen. So I'm now spending 4 oxygen. Might as well take it, right? I can drop it, to be fair. Well, I can drop something. Oh, I don't know if I should have done that. That's but yeah, so I've completed that room as a result. Nice. And that's now, that security room is now completed forever. So I can't refresh the track. Okay. Great. Great? Question mark? Cool. All right, so we've got the tool then. Let me just put where we found it. Security, and then we found this in the lab. We found this in the lab as well. Okay. Ooh, just ping my water there. I still want to look at one more room. I still want to see. I want to see what's down here. I think I would like to get another clue to where, like, what happened here, and then I can always make my way back. But I am spending 1 to get in. I mean, I think I'm not going to use this master key card. It's a passive thing, right? So it just it happens automatically, right? Is that what it's telling me? Let's see. Let me see. What does passive mean? That persists as long as you have the tool. So it keeps happening. Right. So, I mean, it's not going to matter much. I can open these 3 doors, like 1, 2, 3, if I wanted to. I mean, it doesn't matter, but that's good to know. So it's just a passive thing that every time I'm in a room, it's going to open up to 3 doors. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm gonna open this door. So that's gonna be a 1, and then we'll flip for a room. So that is 33, and let's go for it. No, I just want to move everything. No, okay. I'm gonna just hang on. Oh, that worked. I'm just gonna move the item stuff over here. All right. So let's take this room. Actually, should I shuffle? Maybe I should shuffle. Okay, and then it was Z to shuffle. Love it. Okay, take 1. Oh, she says. Take 1, take it off, and F to flip. The commissionary. What's that? Oh, oopsie. Move this out of the way. Commissionary. Well, let's see where we would put it first. It kind of doesn't matter where I put it. Oh, good job, Fiona. Wrong one. E to rotate it in this one. Yeah, put it that way. So that's number 4, the commissionary. Yeah, let's look at it before we move in, because we're going to spend 4 to get in here. So commissionary is 4, wasn't it? Let's see. A utilitarian cafe, shop, and storage facility. The sparse food prep area takes up 1/2 of this room, whilst the other half features a single long table flanked by 2 uncomfortable-looking benches. You spy instant cooked food, vitamin tablets, taste-like drinks, and other staples of survival packed into shelves and drawers lining the cramped walls. And then we've got events. Ooh. A special rule. So amongst the remaining rare items is one of your favorite foods, a rare treat that reminds you of better times. Describe the item and your connection to it. You may spend 2 oxygen to bring it into your suit and consume it. No, I'm not. Hang on. This is a derelict ship. No, don't eat food that you find on a derelict ship. No, I am not doing that. that sounds dreadful. I'll still describe what I see, but I'm like, no, it's too sensible for that. I do like this event. A board on the wall lists the week's menu. One of the items is crossed out. Which is it, and why was it removed? Gain 1 clue. What are we thinking? I mean, I've got all the stuff I need. Realistically, I don't need to complete these room checks because I've got all I need. But I'll move into the room because I've already said I would. So it needs 3. So that is 34, then 35, 36. Okay. Because I don't need. I've got enough stuff that I can drop things. Oh wait, hang on. Did I? 33 was when I went 33, 34, 36, 37 because of that. Oh gosh, 1 to move and then 3 items. Darn it. I'm glad I caught that. Otherwise, I would have been cheating. All right, so I'm in this room. I could open more doors. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend 1 to open the 3 doors, and we can see what the other rooms are. I think that makes sense. Might as well. So let's do that. So I spend 1 more. Oh, I can see the peril events happening. 1 more. I'm going to open 3 doorways at once. I'm going to see what's in the other room. So this doorway, so the north, west, and south doorways. Let's have a look. See, so I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. Let's flip this one. Captain's quarters. Oh, that'll be good. I think let's put that one here. Put that one here. Oh, I like the idea of the captain's quarters. And the captain's quarters off the cafeteria of all things as well. Ready for a midnight snack. And then we have medical. Okay. Maybe medical could be. Hang on, let me rotate it. Maybe it could be this way, perhaps. Who put these rooms together? What a weird feng shui we've got going on this ship. And then the hold. Oh, well. No. The hold didn't go. It was the other item. The other thing we went. Okay, so this one goes up here then. E to rotate. Okay. Let's just move it up a little bit. There we go. Is all right. So let's look at them in order. So we've got captain's quarters, the medical, and the hold. Let's read them. I want to read what these things do. Captain's. Oh well, captain's quarters probably. There we go. So having a look in, this nicely furnished living space, you could almost forget that you're light years away from actual comfort. Different aspects of this room show it belong to the commander or captain of this wreck. Badges, uniforms, small comforts that break standard regulations. Thin sheets of filament paper cover a desk that occupies 1 wall. Oh, and here's something. If we were doing the post-mortem psychofactual analysis upon entering this room, create a new crew member. What? I'll choose an existing crew member to be the correct captain. Well, thankfully we're not on that mission. That sounds scary. Nope. I've got some events here. Ooh, look at that first event. Atop a pile of papers lies a disciplinary note from the captain to one of the crew. Who was it intended for, and what were they accused of? Gain 1 clue. And then if we completed the whole thing, buried out of sight, you find a memento from the captain's younger years. What does it tell you about their leadership style? Gain 1 clue. Okay. That sounds fun. I do want to do that event to get that clue. And then maybe that would be it. And then the other one was med bay. We've got the hold there. That's low, but medical. Here we go. Oh, look at that image. Wait, why is everything floating? You see it? It's floating ever so slightly. Ooh. Yeah, it says here, and looking at the alt text, it says, sorry, come back. A patient's bed is cast in dark shadows, a protected paper lining, sheet and pillow slowly floating above the plastic mattresses. So this cramped room exists entirely for the medical care of the crew members. Built-in cabinets for medical supplies occupy the walls, whilst gurney-like beds are attached firmly to the floor with magnets. Special rule, a brief readout on the wall advises how to conserve oxygen in the event of momentary atmosphere loss. The first time you must resolve a last gasp and cannot discard, you may ignore it. So that's if I go into the room. I have not. And then opening the cupboards, you may find that many more. That many of the usual medical supplies are simply gone. Who took them? Gain 1 clue. Interesting. So it might be useful to go in here just to get that readout, like to move in and we go like, oh, I saw it, because technically I haven't seen. I've not gone into the room technically. And then the other one was hold, wasn't it? I like how these are alphabetical as well as number ordered. So, oh, look at that. There's definitely something that's happened at the bottom there. It looks like blood, I think, on the image. Bubbles of dark liquid float through the air, leading to the dark depths of the hold, where a pair of legs stuffed into the farthest nook. Pretty found. Yep, I can see legs. So it says here, a cavernous space where cargo is stored. Whether this ship was used by merchants, smugglers, or humanitarians, or travelers, there's always a place to store the odds and ends that people don't want to bump up against during travel. Oh, it's only got 3 here. Something important was stored here. What was it, and why was it hidden behind a rack of luggage? Gain 1 clue. And if we completed this track, we'd get another loot. And the special rule, investigating the commissionery enables you to sort of quickly. Investigating the commissionery enables you to quickly sort through the mundane from the interesting. If you have gained any clues in the commissionery, I haven't, gain an additional clue if you complete the hold. That's unfortunate. I have not done that, but that's interesting to know. And then raided, that's part of the mission. It counts as a distraction. Okay, so those are the 3 we've got: Captain's Quarters, Meg Bay, and the hold. Let me think. What are we going to do? We've got about roughly. Okay, I'm just thinking. I think we should go to Captain's Quarters. I think that's narratively more interesting. I want to find out what that disciplinary was, and maybe that's the clue we need. And then, because I feel like Hull would be really good if we'd done anything with the commissioner. We didn't. I do wish we'd gone to medical though for that last gasp. I don't think that's relevant. I think if we had a lower lung capacity, we probably should have done that. So I think the door opens. We see these 3 rooms. We see darkness coming from the hold. We see a pair of lights going out. And I go, no, thank you. I see medical, and I see things floating. I'm like, no, thank you. And I see like a little sign that says Captain's Quarters, and I go, bingo. And we'll go step in there. So we're going to move 4. We're going to use 4 oxygen to go into the Captain's Quarters and move down there. Oh boy. So, I can see the parallel event happening. So that's 39, sorry. And then, still going. So that's 39, 40, 41, 42. Wait, hang on. 39, 40, 41, 42. Yes, we go up to 42. Sorry, I'm just trying to big brain this. Okay, parallel event. Let's go and check that out. Let me move that down. Flip 3 rooms of your choice. Okay, I can't stay here too long. Oh, I really can't. Wait, oh, hang on. Have I mucked this up? Let me think. Captain's Quarters, where are you? Is that it there? Yes, Captain's Quarters is here, 16, I think. That's what it was. Let me look. No, that's not it. Captain's. No, it was number 3. Number 3 is Captain's Quarters. Did I have that on here? Well, I did. It's up here. So I need to spend 2. So that's good. So another event won't happen until I start to move back. Okay. So I think we do that. We're going to spend, let me see. We're going to spend 2 to get that clue. Spend 2 to get the clue. All right, so 33, 43, 44. All right. So yeah, so we're in here, we're rummaging around, and then atop a pile of papers lies a disciplinary note from captain to one of the crew. Who was it intended for, and what are they accused of? I think it's not just one person. I think it is to the whole of the science department. saying that they've gone beyond their remit, going past sort of safety measures and protocols and stuff like that, to the point where there's been dangerous levels of radiation, and somebody has passed away due to what experiments have been going on. Like the captain's just suddenly been made aware of it, and so I think they're being court-martialed, and next time they make planetfall, they're going to be taken off. So I think the whole science, like maybe the head of the science, head scientist, what's the word for that? Not captain. The head of the scientists is getting is a note, and it's saying to them and their assistant and any of the people involved in the experiments in interstellar physics are getting court-martialed because of the lacks in safety protocols and maybe some unethical experimentations on other members of the crew. All right, let's pop that into. It's not loot. It's not loot. It is so captain's quarters. Disciplinary note to science officer / science team. And it makes sense because this is a science research vessel. So maybe the science officer had a lot more sway in these things and could push people around a bit more, but they've gone too far this time for unethical practices and lacks in safety and lacks in safety measures, working out of hours, out of office, out of hours. As a result, locked down in science funding and offices. What's the word? Under sort of not house arrest, but that sort of house arrest, but sort of contained to their rooms. Contained to their rooms before court martial. I think that's what I'm maybe not using that word right, but I'm thinking of like being put on trial. Maybe put on trial at the next planet. Done. Okay. All right. That's 5 clues. That's not too bad, is it? Okay. Then I picked this up. I'm very aware that the ship is creaking and breaking. We've not got that much time before that last peril event happens, which is not a good sign. So I think it's time to skedaddle. So we're in the captain's quarters. We're going to use 1 to open the door back into this into the commissary. So we're going to do that. So we're going to use that and move. So in total, that's 5. Ooh, I don't know if we're going to make it. Okay, so this happens. So this happens first. Peril event happens first. Discard 5. Oh wait, did we do 40? I don't think we did 40. Flip 5 rooms. Did I? Wait a minute. Okay, 3 rooms of choice. We should do that. We should do that first. Sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit. Maybe I moved into. So maybe as I'm doing this, the rooms we're going to flip are. Let's do medbay because we didn't get the oxygen thing. Let's get rid of life support. And we'll get rid of the hold as well. Okay, and then we open the doors to go back to here. Something else happens. We get rid of it. Said something about corridors. I think that's what it was going to say. Ooh, wrong one. Discard 3 unplayed corridors. Okay, so that's easy enough. We'll get rid of this one, and this one. Okay, so they're gone. I'll just quickly put them down here. Sorry. Oh, damn, I should have. Never mind. It's fine. Quickly put them down here. Discard pile. All right, and then we'll go back up. Okay. All right. So the door is open. I can feel the whole, like, the integrity of this whole ship is coming apart. I can feel it. There's definitely a drop in the atmosphere. There's definitely signals and not signals, warning sirens going off. So, okay, I'm gonna move. That's gonna be 4, I think, to move, isn't it? I think I should drop something. No, we'll see how far we can get. We can see how far we get. 4 to move. So that's 6, 47, 48, 49. Oh, I'm gonna have to drop something, aren't I? Okay, so we're back in. Oops, where are we? We're back in the commission area. It's going to take us 1 to open all doors. Right, in a location, open to 3 doors. So I'm going to go 1 there. Going to have to move. So that's another 5. Yeah, that's all I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to do it. So the door opens again. Another peril event goes off. Oh, I don't like this at all. I don't know if I'm going to make it a peril event. So the peril event for this one is each time you move, flip the room you leave from. Okay, all right. That's fine. That's okay for now. Bad things happening. Okay, so I can feel it. Suddenly I can feel like the pressure happening on this particular room, and I know I don't have much time. I'm going to move, so that's going to be 4 to get into security. As I do so, the room behind me flips, gone, goes. I'm going to 1 to open all these doors. I'm going to open this door, the key card to get through, and I'm going to open this door as a result, and we'll open that bottom door. It's fine. And then I'm going to move so I can get through this door, and I can get through this door. So then I'm going to move. So I moved. Did I do the thing? Yeah, as I moved. Yeah, I did the thing, didn't I? Sorry, brain. It's not happening. Parallel event. Parallel event happened. Flip. So now we move. Okay, so that's going to be 51, 52, 53, 54. So that is moving into the security booth. Right. I then open the door to the next one, which is 55. That opens all those doors. Oh Lord. Okay. Oh, I'm cutting it close to the wire, aren't I? So the doors are now open to security. I can see my route. So I move through. I open and I go into the airlock. So that will be another 4 to move into the airlock. Right. I'm just going to double check. Move into the airlock. It's 4. So I'm going to do 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Ooh. So we're now in the airlock. What does it say about the airlock? I didn't read it when we came in. This narrow room echoes with a soft pneumatic. Oh God, how do you present that? Soft pneumatic hiss. The emergency power keeps it running for the time being, allowing you to pass between your ship and the wreck. There's much to see here beyond the translucent doors and the machinery jutting out of the wall. You may exit the wreck. This ends your exploration of the wreck. I think, yeah, get out of there. We've got the stuff. So you can hear it like, woo. Oh, and of course, as I move through, the security office gets crumpled up. I see it getting crumpled up into almost like a piece of paper, the way that the metal crushes and cracks and breaks. And then the oxygen shield goes back and the doors of the airlock shut. And I'm like, no, thank you. And I get on my ship and I get the heck out of there. Whew, okay. Whew, that was very close. That final event was 1 away. Discard any unplayed rooms or corridors. So I wouldn't have been able to create a new room. I would have had to get back to that, to the airlock for that, which is, again, not the worst thing in the world, but it's pretty much end game at that point. Well, there you go. Whoa, okay. Bit of a hairy end, but let's move to the epilogue, shall we? So, I think we succeeded. So the payout for each loot secured gain either free cash or 1 favor. Let's look at the so I think in total we got 3 loot. As a result, we got the container, we got the field notes on the floppy disk, and we've got the key card I'm saying that's loot. Getting either free cash or one favor. So what do I get for that? Let me have a look. See, free cash or one favor per item. I could get a brand new uniform. Oh, how nice! I think let's spend one favor. We'll hand in one to get a promotion to higher clearance. Because frankly, I need that. I'm tired. I've risked my life for this particular job. No, thank you ever again. So let's go for. We're going to get a promotion to higher clearance. We're going to spend that one favor as a result. Let's put that in the contract. Sorry. Favor 1. I'll spend that. I'm going to get promotion. I'm going to spend that to get that. That's fine. I then think we're going to cash in the other 2 to get 3 cash. No, 6 cash. I think, I don't know about you guys, I think we're going to get a large pet. Oh no, we can't get a large pet. We're going to get a small pet. Oh. That's my own fault. I want a higher clearance, and I want a small pet. That was what we said at the beginning. Like, I've decided I want a pet allowance, right? So we're going to get a small pet as a result. We're going to spend that 5 cash. So we have 1 cash left over. So if we were to play this game again, we could then come back to it. So no favors, but we did get promotion to the thing. And we now have in our thing a small pet. I think we've got a tiny, tiny dog in a bag, but it's happy to be in the bag. It likes it. It's not a scrappy one. It's like a decent sized dog. Maybe I've got a big bag for it. You know, like in New York on the metros, they have they're like, you can't have any dogs, only dogs that can be carried. And you're like, yep, okay, get the IKEA bag. So we've got a small dog as a result. Whose name, I'm going to look around, I'm going to call Hieronymus. Done. All right. Hieron. I could just see the RPG of Hieronymus over there. Hieronymus. Done. Everyone should have a cool dog name like that. What was the other thing we had to do? I think that's it, right? We've spent all of the... We've done the epilogue, in a sense. We've survived. We've fulfilled a contract. If you do receive the noted payout and cash, and then journal about the outcomes of failing it. Once you've journaled about the outcome of your contract, you can spend the cash. Which ones can you afford? Which ones? Whatever you choose. Okay. Brilliant. So, this is what happens if we go into the final sort of epilogue. I realised I was very close to death. More so because of my greed. I report back to Zeus Network saying that clearly this particular research vessel had come across, or were on the moment of breaking through, something to do with transportation, which is something that our company is in need of. We do travel, we do holidays. But what I said was that the scientists maybe took it too far. We've seen evidence of people disappearing, and turns just, I wonder if through the field notes we researched, actually the particles, the thing that sort of charges them, it needs more of the substance, that's the energy, whilst charging them. And I think it is more about, we're made of bits of dust and bits of flotsam and jetsam and stuff like that. So I think the scientists took it into their own hands to recreate that material with what they had on board, which was the crew. And we don't need to go into any more detail than that. And I say, I nearly died because it was pretty much a hatchpatch job. Like, clearly the integrity of the hull had been breaking and cracking because of the scientific experiments going on. The captain was nowhere to be seen, but I did get all this information. And I would like to have a nicer office, please. I don't wish to be in the cubicle anymore. I would like to have access to the gym. I want the sauna to be working in my building block. And I'd like the hot tap of tea to just be hot water, and I can make my own tea. And I would like a pet. And they were like, and Fancy Alice is like, yeah, no problem. And I go, and I'm going to call it Hieronymus. And then I sort of go, I'll be back in the office 9 a.m. tomorrow. And I hit the badge that says, let's not rot. And there you go. And maybe even then, and we didn't fail. We did all the stuff we needed to do. I wonder if I was sitting in the bed, the trap bed, there is a sense of like I did almost make it out. I almost died, but what if I do more of this sort of stuff? What if I can keep going at it? I've now paid off whatever loans, and I'm getting it. It's getting better, and I'm actually did a really good job. Maybe I'm getting a few more of these offers coming through. So there you go. There you go. And then let's see the end of this. That is our what remains of the ship. There you go. So that was one breath left. Thank you so much, friends, for coming in. I'm finishing a little bit early, but that's just because we finished the game at the end? Question mark. Thank you so much for being. Let me grab my notes coming up. Brilliant. Let me. There's my script. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this great stream of One Breath Left, if I do say so myself. If you've enjoyed this wonderful game, please feel free to grab your own copy on Stoat itch page and check out their website as well, stout.co.uk for their other games. As I said a couple of times, their physical game of this isn't available currently because they've gone through their first printing. As you can see, why it's been a really cracking game. But there may be a crowdfunder again very, very soon. This has been a stream for EUphoria Summer of Sci-Fi series put together by the wonderful Darcy and Ida. If you've enjoyed this particular stream, consider following EUphoria on all their social medias. Subscribe to the Twitch, check out the YouTube, and check out some upcoming sessions for this wonderful event. Consider joining the Patreon as well, or just simply spreading the word of what EUphoria does, raising the bar for diversity, safety, and excellence in the EU and UK TTRPG scene. And finally, my name is Fiona. I've been your pilot, your explorer for this particular stream. I'm an improviser, actual play performer, and podcaster. You can find out more about what I do probably in the chat just now. I run What Am I Rolling, a twice monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast where we look at different RPG systems and look at the different ways we can tell wonderful collaborative stories. I'm also the founder and co-host. You see, my brain has gone, the oxygen has gone to me, of the DM's Book Club, which is a weekly book club podcast where we talk about some Dungeons and Dragons and discuss how we improve and implement it in any of your campaigns. We read the books so you don't have to. So that's Where, WAIR, and the DM's Book Club, wherever you listen to podcasts. I want to thank the amazing Darcy for keeping me safe in the actual real world, although I don't know, I think they would leave me behind if I was on this spaceship. I think they just locked the airlock as a result. Thank you to the wonderful Ida for creating these wonderful overlays. Thank you, Stoat, for providing us some giveaways and for just making such an incredible game. Please go check out their stuff. They've got some amazing, unusual RPGs on their websites. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you are safe wherever you are. Please play some more games. And I'm going to wave awkwardly from space. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.